What is your impact on the environment? Hi everyone, my name's Tobias, and this was a question that I really latched onto while I was in Wattle. It's a hard question to think about without thinking that there's not much that you can actually change within the infrastructure that is set in place. After all, it was BP who popularised the term personal carbon footprint in the early 2000s to shift the narrative away from responsibility for fossil fuel companies to individuals. But within all that noise, this is the context that my generation has grown up in. We've grown up hearing about climate change, and we are definitely living in the eye of the storm now. It is fundamentally changing the ecosystems, economies, and borders in our world. And studies have shown that you can view the future as half glass full or half empty. The research is showing the damage that we're causing, and especially in recent weeks with the action taken by the Australian government, it's hard not to be frustrated by it. This is the world that I'm inheriting, and it leaves me with this. Where do I fit into all of that? I'm from a small country town on Bpangerang Country, northeast Victoria, called the King Valley. It's a beautiful part of the world, and my parents instilled this desire in me to expand my world and expose myself to new perspectives. I moved to Melbourne, living at St Hilda's College, which quickly became my new home. It was a place where I could dream bigger and aim higher, and it gave me a platform to think about what was the impact I was going to have when I left college. And then, more broadly, what was the impact I could have on the world? My project resulted from my question and the context around me. Along with my dean and principal, we wondered if we could find out what the environmental impact St Hilda's College had on the world, specifically how many emissions there were and how could we reduce that number, and what allowed me to carry out this and with the resources and time to do it. My first step was to figure out where we were, establish a baseline of how many emissions we had so that we had something to compare to in the future. We ran an energy audit and calculated that the emissions were 720 tonnes of carbon dioxide per year, or enough emissions to drive 4,200,000 kilometres, or a Toyota Corolla to the moon 11 times. So we can now visualise the problem, and we can start to look to where we want to go and set some goals. One of these goals is for St Hilda's College to be the first known net zero residential college in Australia. And the final stage is, how do we get there? To get to net zero emissions, what is the infrastructure that's needed? How much will it cost? What is the education going to look like to do that? And I'm still working on this part of the project and will present my recommendations in a couple of months. But St Hilda's is still considered a small residential college. There are 240 students compared to some other colleges at Melbourne Uni with 500, 600 students. And there are estimates to be around 50,000 students in 60 to 70 colleges around Australia. So this project doesn't even scratch the surface. In a few days, I'm going to conduct a student engagement session at St Hilda's because I think it's really important to hear what they think about the numbers and what change they would like to see within their own home. Hopefully, this will be a project that they can add to in the next 5 to 10 years and ensure that what we started becomes really ingrained in the fabric at St Hilda's. This project has been a significant journey for me personally and academically. It was my parents who first showed me the value of looking beyond myself and contributing to something larger. I interpret this value as one rooted in the hope that what we protect today and what we build on will give a better world to those who come after us. And reflecting on my project, I think of my younger sister who's now just joined St Hilda's. And this is also about ensuring that the St Hilda's she inherits is better, but also about showing what is possible in this world. My desire to make a difference has led me to engineering. It's been one where I've learnt to think in systems, something that we do a lot of here at the Wattle Fellowship, but it makes me think, how does each individual part shape the whole? And this project has bridged technical solutions with real world connection and action, something that I really hope to bring in the work that I do moving forward. And it's given me a lot of hope, but also a sense of control over my impact and the actions that I can take. I understand how easy it is to be frustrated and angry at the state of the world right now. And there are things that are happening to make this world a better place. And you are certainly going to hear them today. I started this with a simple question. What is your impact on the environment? And I'll end it with an invitation. We're all in contexts such as your home, campus, career, where this question can be asked and should be, in my opinion. So try and get involved in the work so that you can either be a role model to others or protect the world that we have today. And hopefully this will have a ripple effect that we can actually move towards net zero and a better world, a beautiful world that one day I hope to show my own kids, just like my parents showed me. Thank you very much.